afternoon and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me again. Today we're going to relook at Castle Drogo in Devon. It's a site we visited late last year, so I thought it's a good idea to walk around and give you a little bit more commentary on the castle itself. So as I say, please join me and thanks for watching. I'd also like to mention my twin brother's channel, Journeyman. I'll leave a link in the description below. It's a really good channel, and yeah, just to suggest you drop along and have a look when you have time. As you can see, there are winding pathways down from the main area where you sign in at National Trust. The path winds down towards the castle and really overlooks extensive gardens and fields of land surrounding it. It's a really lovely walk. Wasn't a nice day, raining, a little bit cold, but still pleasant nevertheless. And as I say, if you get here in the spring and summer months, it'll probably be absolutely gorgeous, and gives you time just to kind of explore the many acres that surrounds Castle Drogo. As you can see in the distance, you can just see the front of the castle itself, just at the end of this lane here. Just panning around to have a look at what's around, and the main entrance road, which obviously the work has come down. As you see, it kind of revs up. It's a little bit of a wet day, but it doesn't detract from the place itself. As I say, there's a better view of the castle itself. It looks medieval in many ways, but it's extremely modern. It's built in the early 1900s. Castle Drogo is a country house and castle near Exeter, which has the distinction of being the last castle to be built in England. The castle was commissioned by Julius Drew, a retail entrepreneur who established the home of colonial stores, which made him a millionaire by the age of 33. Building work began on this entirely granite structure in 1911 in the village of Drew Stenton, which was named after Drew's supposed ancestor and the inspiration for the castle. Norman Baron Drogo detained Drew commissioned Edwin Lytons to design the new castle. Lytons was the height of his fame as an architect of the English country house, having already completed Lindisfarne Castle, project of Edward Hudson, editor of Country Life. Castle Drogo, standing on a commanding position overlooking the River Tyne, offered an opportunity to use a very different plan. However, Lytton sympathetically combined the themes of comfortable home and medieval atmosphere as he had in Lindisfarne, set within 600 acres of park and formal garden. Castle Drogo is a modern interpretation of medieval themes. The stark block-shaped granite exterior with the mullioned windows contains comfortable tapestry-hung rooms. The outbreak of the First World War and the Great Depression delayed the project somewhat, and the castle was not completed until 1930, a year before Drew passed away. Drew's grandson, the great-grandson, gave the property to the National Trust in 1974. The castle is reminiscent of a stark medieval fortress, complete with battlements, a massive entrance tower and twin octagonal turrets and genuine portcullis. The interiors appear to have evolved organically through the generations. The entrance hall and library recall the keep in Norman castles. The dining room evokes the 17th century and the drawing room suggests the Georgian period. These are cleverly unified by Lytton's use of a limited palette and powerful aesthetic. Despite the austerity of the exteriors, the bedrooms are comfortable and modest, in scale with the state-of-the-art Edwardian bathrooms. Additional modern services include custom-built kitchen, working telephones and electricity, generated by hydro turbines in the valley below. Castle Drogo is a testament of the brilliance of Lytons, the skill of the workforce, and Drew's vision for his home. Castle Drogo is an accredited museum. The significance of the objects found at the Castle Drogo lies with their direct connection to the Drew family. They reflect the taste, the interests of the family, who lives revolved around the love of the outdoors and spending time together. Many of the items, such as the tapestries, inlaid tables, ornate chests, were brought to Drogo from previous homes. At Wadhurst Park, however, the castle all contains a number of pieces, fitted and freestanding furniture designed by Lytons specifically for the Drew family. So, really interesting room here with the glass cabinets and displays showing old Victorian paraphernalia. Beautiful inlaid case, and if you see the actual stone windows that are reminiscent of a castle, or granite, I should say, with the lead light windows. Really beautiful room, as I say. Some boxes there that are inlaid from China, India, etc. Some large tapestries and some really nice ornate furniture. Yeah, a really nice room, worth the view if you've got time. We're just taking a walk back outside of that main dining area and walking down the stairway, which you'll see momentarily. I just panned around there, see an old grandfather's clock, I suppose you'd call it. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the face and the moving characters on there. As I say, just panned that round and looking down the stairway now to go to the bottom of the castle. As I say, beautiful marble stairways, granite windows, lead light windows, really beautifully done. And again, some really beautiful pictures hanging on the walls. Really high ceilings. And you see the granite walls there. They're very ornate, aren't they? The way they're cut out and just in keeping. And the scale is absolutely amazing. Just take a look up there to the oak ceiling. Very reminiscent of a church, if I'm honest. But yeah, beautiful. We've now just about to enter a what looked like a dining room, actually, with some pictures along the oak panelled walls, all lit up. They look really beautiful, and the ceiling again was extremely well done, inlaid and crafted, and it's an interpretation of a dining table there, as you can see in the picture. Yeah, some lovely furniture, not that old, as I say. It's probably early 1900s, so no older than that. Some of the furniture was bought from other places they lived, but yeah, a really interesting room. I think what's quite interesting as you exit the dining room, which is kind of in the basement area, you're presented here this walkway with the granite arches open up on either side as well, where you find the kind of a maid's pantry, if you like, and eventually leading down to the kitchen area. So yeah, the dining room was on the kind of basement level and served by the kitchen off to the maids, and the servers run up and down this corridor from the main kitchen at the bottom. And as I pan around there, you can see in that little cupboard there, you can see the pennies and little tea towels, and what looks like a little crib, etc. in that cupboard, brooms, etc. I assume this probably was the main servant's quarters, or butler, I suppose you'd call him. And this is obviously where he was at 24/7 response to the master of the house. An interesting room, to be sure. I'd say you saw the old Bakelite typewriter there, an old Bakelite phone, and a clock on top of the mantelpiece. It's actually set out and presented like a 1940s house cottage that you sometimes see. Yeah, really quite beautiful. And say another look in there at the pennies, doilies and tea towels while we move forward down the hallway further. And you can see the windows to the left there. That's actually an undercroft area, which we'll look at a bit later. And that's an old doll's house, which I assume belonged to probably one of the girls that was staying in the property at the time. As we proceed down the hallway, there's another little room tucked away there. It's a very interesting room, clearly designed to do general repairs and that around the castle itself, with some interesting little artefacts, woodworking tools there, sewing machine. Yeah, certainly some interesting things. Come back out the room again, turn left, and you're presented with a kind of a winery on the left-hand side there, bottom of a little stairway. Fully stocked there, reds, whites, beautiful. Certainly like a wine rack like that at home, fully stocked. Yeah. So back out of the room very shortly. Look down the hallway there. You can see a room on the right-hand side, which is actually where the hydro power came into the building. I don't know if you remember earlier on, actually said that they produced their own hydro power back in the day, so they wasn't relying on anything else other than the water that was running down from the mountains. You can see there the breakers and an old telephone there left on the wall. Doesn't work anymore, all decommissioned, run with mains electricity coming into the property. So you can't get to see that. We've just entered the main kitchen now. You see some beautiful copper pots there on the shelves, and twin Argers, clearly revamped. They look absolutely splendid, all black and yeah, quite beautiful. So obviously coal-fired, and some, yeah, you had different areas in the day, baking areas and meat areas, etc. in the kitchens, and wash-up areas, and really interesting old built-in oak shelving and benches, etc. And that central table there, as we look up into the centre of the kitchen, you'll see a raised window gallery, if you like, letting light straight down into the whole kitchen area. Really delightful, really delightful. And I say the ornate arches and the wood, the inlays, etc. No expense obviously spared when this was built in the early 1900s, and the actual racking for the plates, you see there's hundreds and hundreds of plates. They obviously had lots of guests, etc. over the years. And the table there, some baking implements on. Yeah, a really interesting kitchen area. Quite large, and I say different compartmentalised, if you like, areas to explore and look around. So, yeah, please have a look. Large mortars pestle there. Also, and those cabinets haven't been touched in over a century. They look absolutely stunning. Coming out here into a kind of little milk parlour, see some old milk urns there, obviously where they brought the milk in from the cows, the farmers, etc. And that's where it stayed there, probably to keep it cool, and didn't have the processing, sterilisation that we would have had nowadays. So it's probably just straight from the cow, so to speak, into the urns and left there to in a cool place. So we're just coming up a stairway now, which leads back up to the top of the building, if you like, into the main area. So shortly we'll probably be heading outside where we'll show the Undercroft. Another interesting little place out there is they've got their own church, so really interesting place. We'll have a look at that shortly. Actually, if we come up that stairway from the kitchen area, we was kind of presented. I wonder where these were actually. They're bedroom apartments, if you like. So that was interesting coming up from the kitchen and seeing there. It's actually more like a dining room, this particular room anyway, or no, a drawing room, I say, where people just sit, smoke their pipes, read, etc. Yeah, maybe have the gramophone going and just really have a peaceful enjoyment life, basically. Some really ornate chairs there, quite beautiful piano, all inlaid again, looks like mahogany or something similar, all wood panel walls, oak walls, absolutely splendid. So they haven't changed in over a century, and they're still looking as probably good as the day they were they were put in or erected there, and a little writing desk there. Again, quite ornate. You've got a beautiful light there on the light stand, you can see, and there's a gramophone that I mentioned, so probably would have sounded really beautiful in the day. Yeah, it's quite splendid. Look at that old phone. Bedlight phone, probably rung all over the castle, so could get hold of any servant at any time. Yeah, during the day. Lovely old twin seat there. Yeah, absolutely splendid, exquisite room. Back out into the hallway again. The granite windows are absolutely stunning, aren't they? You can see there, quite delightful. Going back down the hallway into this room at the end here, which we're just looking at the sculpture there at the end of the hallway. But into this room here, it tells you all about the different wars, if you like, First World War, Second World War, and all the parties, or the family members, I should say, that fought in those two wars and other wars alike. So again, interesting. You can spend some time here just reading up and seeing all the people that actually lived at the castle at the time, and the family members, basically. So yeah, take your time, have a good look round. It's really interesting. You're heading out now from these rooms and just taking a look at the really the architecture or the internals of the stairwells, etc. I say really beautifully carved granite. Looks like a shield there on the wall. Again, not quite sure what that's made of, or it looks like a coat of arms on the front, or various coat of arms. But I think it's a shield of some description, and just the ornateness of this and the arches, etc., the inlays. It really is quite exquisite, and yeah, it's got a feeling of a really old castle, and it's not. I mean, it's only about 100 years old, so amazing place. It really is. We're just really coming down now to the exit, if you like, and we're going to go round the side and down a stairway, which we'll show you shortly, which takes you to the undercroft of the castle itself. There were parts of it that we couldn't get into that were shielded off, and I assume they were probably the bedroom areas. We didn't actually see a bedroom. I thought we were going up to it a little while ago, but it wasn't the bedroom area, so they're probably the ones that are closed off. Whether anyone still lives in the castle, I'm not too sure. But it's a shame we couldn't get around all of it, but interesting place nevertheless. Right, as I said, this is the leading down to the kind of undercroft areas, like, and I don't know if you remember earlier, I said those windows that look down to the undercroft. You can just see there on the left hand side as we go past and down this stairway. Another miserable day, but hey, it was lovely nevertheless. But always seems to rain at the moment. We seem to be quite unlucky, but as I say, it didn't belie the beauty of the place. It was really nice, and this was unexpected. This kind of undercroft, if you like, and straight in front of you is the actual church itself, and it's set underground. A bit of light coming in through the windows there, but what a beautiful place. You can see there, it's just lit up nicely. You've got these large kind of arch ceiling, if you like, and it's just so beautiful, so peaceful. You can imagine the services on a Sunday, etc., for the family. Yeah, it's quite delightful. Lots of ornate font there. Down there again, inlay on the floor. Can't remember what that is actually in the glass case, but yeah, maybe if you're here you can have a look and see exactly what that is. But just pan around now, and you've got a small seating area, as you can see there. Yeah, so not for many. I mean, there wouldn't be many here, I suppose. It was only family members, maybe friends. You'd have a priest, vicar, etc. down there, and that's really it. But I mean, absolutely beautiful lead light windows at the end there, and no attention to detail was spared. I mean, it actually looks like a proper full-size church, and it's not. It's just a small one. I think that's a model interpretation of the undercroft itself and the church. Interesting nevertheless. A little area there that was enclosed. I think I peeked through Kurt, if I remember rightly. Yeah, I did. I think it was just a storage area. I'm not sure what it's used to in its day. And you see that little organ there on the right hand side, a miniature organ it looked like. So, yeah, I wonder what that sounded like. Again, I'd like to thank you for joining my channel and really taking the time to look around Castle Drogo with me today. It was an absolute pleasure looking around this site, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you join me again on the channel when we look around as Wandering Spirit. And I say I really enjoyed my look arounds, and if you take the time to, as I say, look at my twin brother's channel, Journeyman, I'm sure it'd be really interesting you watching. Thanks again. Goodbye.